All right, we're live. It's BSPR LLC here with Ron from Extreme Mist, and everybody knows the goat right here, Ronnie Green. I always call him the goat because in my mind he is. We're here to talk about Extreme Mist today and the products that they offer. For people that don't know BSPR LLC, what we do is we're a sales, marketing, and distribution company that markets to over 135 countries. And with that, we bring on the newest and the best brands out there. We focus on getting everything that's new and what people haven't seen and want to see. So that's why we brought Extreme Mist on board. And honestly, I've introduced Ronnie to that brand. And he's, very ecstatic about the brand because, with him being outside, with him being outside all day long, it'll cool him down. And he's a really cool cat anyways, but so now he's got an excuse to be cooler. So that being said, let's introduce Ron from Extreme Mist. You want to tell us a little bit about Extreme Mist, the applications and all that stuff. And actually, I'm going to flip that around. So, Ronnie, you have the Extreme Mist, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes,
Ron
I do.
provided. Yeah. So, what applications do you think that you could use that for in a daily basis?
Well, what's interesting is I always want to get a product and I'll test it. And I like to do a little running. So I decided to walk with it on my running route, just so I can actually have a chance to manipulate it. Because when you're running, you're moving too much and you really can't manipulate anything, or you can't do much, let alone try to hold your phone and all that good stuff. So I wanted to get to know the product. And the first thing I realized, it was hot. Florida is hot. So we all know that. That was a gimme. And the next thing you know, I said, I love the mist part. That is like one of the things that I love the most about it, is because I need to be refreshed. And I always have on dark colors, so it attracts a lot of heat. And I turned it a little bit away from me, because I listened
Ron's
to Ron.
Ron's doing a
Yeah.
little demonstration there.
I turned it away from me, Ron. And what was interesting is my forward momentum was walking right into the mist, and it made it so fresh. So it covered more than just an area. I was able to get a part of my face, my neck, and those are the areas that really bother me the most, because that's where you get uncomfortable. And I sweat, but the sweat wasn't even cool. But it gives you this cool mist, and I love that about it. The other thing that I like about the way I could use it is you can take that same application and be on a bass boat wearing that vest, and I was bass fishing. So I had my grandkids here with me last week. So I decided to put it on. They're like, I wanted to. So they decided to put it on as well. So I had the mist out and they were having a ball. But at the end of the day, it was really hot and I could see them turning really red, so they needed a little bit of mist. They loved it and I loved it. But then on the other side, I thought one of the things is, a bass fisherman, we don't like to stop fishing. We like to keep fishing. I don't like nothing bothering me and in my way. So I put the thing in my mouth, I opened the nozzle there, started drinking. That I loved,
I know
because I'm on the
exactly.
go. I'm
Yeah,
still fishing.
exactly.
And I have it in my mouth. It got me some water. So it has so many different applications. The other part is, in my saltwater boat, it gets really hot and it's a lot bigger than a bass boat. So it has a T-top. So there is the other parts that I love as well, that I can see an application for. And that's being able to put it around the T-top. And when it gets flat, calm, there's no wind, that's when the heat is at its worst. That mist is going to give you enough to where you feel like, oh, I feel okay, because you can feel like you're out in the middle of the desert, even though you're surrounded by water. When you're in the Florida heat, man, it's the real deal. It'll hurt you if you ain't careful. So that's one thing,
Well,
a few things that I love about it.
exactly. And Ron, you're in Arizona, right?
Yeah, I'm in Scottsdale.
Yeah, so I mean, he knows about heat as well.
Oh yeah,
So
dry heat.
yeah,
A little bit.
let me let's ask, yeah, exactly. Let's ask a little. How did you come up with this, Ron?
Well, listen, I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona, and we're kind of the misting capital of the world, I think. The first mist companies were actually out of Scottsdale, to my knowledge. And so I've kind of grown up with misting, where a lot of the country doesn't even know what misting is, to be honest. But the sun states definitely do. And because it's in every shopping center, all the strip malls, every restaurant, you can't go anywhere in Arizona without running into misting. Well, I'm an adventure traveler and I do a lot of trips and around the world, from the Himalayas to the deserts of the world, all over the place. And I usually take off for a month, 2 months at a time and go do trekking. And I was on a actual, here's a little book I wrote. That's me with my camels going on 1,000-mile journey through the Sahara Desert. This was just over a decade ago. And that's when I thought this up. I had my camelback
I
with
was
the
gonna
hose
say the
hanging.
camels already have water. What do you need water for? They already have water.
Yeah, the only water I was getting from them was on my legs when I was walking. So I have
peeing
my
on your
camel,
legs.
I
Awesome.
always had my camelback hanging from the camel, and I have the hose hanging down. So I walk next to the camel all day or all night, and I'd reach up and grab the hose. And I had a cameleer with me, the guy who that I got the camels from, and he went on this trip with me. And about 2 weeks through, week and a half through the trip, we'd have to sit there with a blanket over our heads every day for 4 to 5 hours. It was horrible. Just sit there and wait for the sun to go over. Nothing to do. It was 140 degrees in the sunlight every single day. And after a week or so, I don't know what took him so long, he showed me to take my drinking water, which was just short of boiling, pour it in my metal everything bowl, and put it away from my shadow in the sand. And within about 15 minutes through the evaporation process, the heat comes out, the cold stays. I'll never forget that first drink of water. I reached up that bowl and took a sip of cold, cold water.
Exactly.
Wow.
It was a
That's
lifesaver.
awesome. That's
And that's
awesome.
when I kind of did the aha moment. I've got the camelback on the camel. Why not put a mist system into it? And of course, like many inventions and ideas that people have, it got logged into a book and forgotten about for a few years till humping up some hills started, as I'm getting older, started hurting a little more because I like to go out in 112 in the summer at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was hitting the trails. I kind of prided myself on that. And then it started getting harder and harder. And that's when I dragged this out of the book and actually went ahead and started working on it.
Man, that's amazing. So
That is amazing.
yeah, exactly. So Ronnie, what do you think other things could be used for this? I mean, like you're just for fishing boats, that's one, but
Sure.
and hiking and camping and stuff like that. But what would you be
I
able to
thought
use this
about,
for personally?
well, not necessarily me personally, but I have a lot of veteran friends, and we do a lot of events together, and I even fish some tournaments with them called PVA, Paralyzed Veterans of America. So I was curious as to, and I'm asking, Ron, is there an application? Have you seen some applications that you've done where it's applicable to disabled vets and whatnot that are confined to wheelchairs?
That's a really great question. Yeah.
And yeah, the accessibility people have found this, and they've done it different ways. They either use the vest and just have it in the chair, which I don't think is the best because you're having to sit back against it and lean forward a little bit. So we have a kit that can go on. This one just shows some applications like golf carts and things. It's got, like you held up, Ronnie, a few minutes ago, that hose system. This comes with a 16-foot line right here. And here's the pump and the cover and all the other items within this box. So this is a portable mist system and a little 30 cal ammo can. And with this, I hook it onto my tents when I land too early. Even when I'm up in the Himalayas, when it's freezing out, if I land too early on those thin tents that I carry for backpacking, it's too hot to crawl into. You're tired, you land too early, you want to lay down, and you're up in basically high desert in the mountains, and it's too hot to crawl into the tent. So I just hook this on the outside of the tent, kind of as shown here. Sorry, everything's in reverse for me here. And I hook on 1, 2, 3, or 4 nozzles, as long as I have somewhat of a water source, and I can cool the tent down before I crawl in. I have it on my rooftop tent on my Jeep on the awnings. And again, anywhere else, I put it on my Razor, my UTV. So each seat has the driver gets the wireless remote control, of course. But each person can do a little adjustments, tweak the nozzles around to their preference. And again, when everyone else picks up their marbles and goes home for the summer, or they have to trailer up north or something, I get all the trails to myself. So
there
the answer back to the accessibility is yes. If they were to use, and I've done this before, I've had people put it on chairs and things to where if you put it in front of you, whenever you're moving forward, you're moving into the mist.
Oh, that's excellent. That's
totally. Yeah, and same with on your boat, Ronnie. I don't know if you hooked it up yet. I didn't see that package open yet. But if you put it on a bimini top, or if you're an angler on a paddle kayak or something, if you put it in front of you, so the mist is aiming back this way, and you're always moving into the mist, it's awesome.
Because it's a really nice mist, and then you can adjust the mist if you need more or less. That's interesting.
That's with the wireless remote control, which is here, which was hanging from my back. So again, I just turn it on, and then I'm gonna less is more for hiking and running. The faster you move, less you want, so that you're moving into it. If I had it up too high, I'd have to be Superman to catch this.
Well,
I'm not that athletic.
No, that's a great point, because Ronnie used to be a track star, so he could catch up really quick. Tell him about your track days there.
Oh man, those are pretty far back, but whenever I feel like I want to run, I'll just run through some photos, and that's the best running I've done in a while. But I used to do a lot of sprinting, and I do a little sprinting after I do like a few miles. It's my way of doing the cheesy way of doing abs, because I hate the ab part of my workouts. So sprinting, when you're raising those legs, the abductors is pulling on the muscles, and so that's why you see a lot of sprinters have really ripped abs, because it's a pretty easy ab workout when you're using those fast twitch muscles and all that good stuff. So I can see this thing really being useful, especially in Florida, man. And people don't realize what heat can do for you. The other day, I did a show on Monday, and we had 3 people that are not always out in the sun, so to speak. They were like a crew that was helping the guests and kind of helpers and that kind of thing. And let me tell you, we're only out there for 2 hours at the beginning, where they needed some excessive hydration. And all I could think about is just that mist, because they kept going, my face is just so hot, Ronnie. My face is just so hot. And I just kept thinking about the product, man. If I had that product where I can give it to guests and they can just be sitting there just misting away. It's a beautiful thing, man. And that's, I think any fast moving, where you're running, whether you're riding a boat or riding a bike, that's the other thing. Me and my wife do a lot of bike trails. So that's a big deal to me as well. Wow, look at you.
We have one, yeah.
I didn't know. Wow.
I'm telling you, Ronnie, it's all on our site, man. I get the best of the best. Extreme Mist is the best of the best. You can go to
Every time
BSPR.
I turn around, Paul,
I know.
You got something really nice, man, and I just love the products, man.
All you have to do is BSPR LLC.com, and then go to extrememist.com, go to efficientstory.com with Ronnie Green. It's all there, man. I get it all day long, man. I get the best of the best.
It's amazing.
So Ron, let's talk. I understand that like, this can be used for pets as well.
Sure, Paul. There's so many uses for it. Here, just on the side of this box. This box, by the way, that I held up with the mountain bike on the back. This was my first product, and it's a retrofit kit that can go to any hydration backpack. So the trade-off on this system, this is the pump that does all the action and the battery, and that's all in this kit. So this is basically what I have in my backpack now. We take this kit and install it into our own packs.
Okay.
And the trade-off for that is it's a 16-ounce trade-off, but for that 16-ounce, you're going to do that.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Go farther. So for the ultralighters and things that go, when I go trekking and stuff, I'm cutting my toothbrush 2/3 off the toothbrush. I'm looking at a strap hanging. Oh, that's an extra, quarter of an ounce. I'm cutting it. But I'll tell you what, I won't trade off my 16-ounce extreme mist system. That's going to go in there no matter what. But back to your question, as animals, there's Highway. That's my rescue pitty, my best friend. And we don't sell this product. We sell this product, but you just get yourself saddlebags for your dog, put the pump in one side, a bottle of water on the other, or a bladder, whichever. And then you go ahead and put it to his collar. And when he walks, it goes underneath. So when I take him for a walk, and that's where they cool down their bellies. So when I take him for a walk, I've got my remote. I'm doing mine. I got his remote, and we're chilling. But never over 90 degrees in the daytime.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear that, Ron.
Never take your best friend out over 90 degrees in the daytime in the sun.
Yeah. And sorry, Ron. I did that for Ronnie the other day. So sorry, Ronnie. Ronnie, what was your question, my friend?
I had a question just out of curiosity. I was trying to get the longevity. I was explaining to my wife, and she's like, "But how long did it last you out on the water?" And so, what is the recommended, or what's its recommended life right on the water as you filled up?
So in the backpack that you were using, you have that 2-liter reservoir.
Yes.
Which is also in a insulated reservoir cover. And it's insulated not for the misting. You could put boiling hot water in here. It comes out that same freezing temperature. There's a heat exchange. It's a physics thing. So as I mentioned with my bowl of water, the heat went away and left the cold. Same principle with this. But for your drinking water, because you're sharing this reservoir with your drinking, I always like to open this up. It's nice and wide. Put my fist in there, and I put ice cubes up to about here before I head out. And in that insulated, that'll keep my drinking water cold for in 112 out here. I'll get up 4 or 5 hours of ice cold water out of that.
Wow.
And usage wise, I'm going to use, this is 2 liters. There's 8.5 cups in 2 liters, except I usually put a little more in because it expands. But I'll use on the hiking speed, which I mentioned is the lower speeds for when you're cycling, running, walking, hiking. I don't go over speed 3 usually out of the 8 speeds on the remote control. And I'll use about a cup to a cup and a half an hour out of this 8.5 cups, 9 cups. If I leave it on the whole time for an hour. Now I got to tell you, if I'm going out for 2 hours or under, again, humping up my mountains, the switchbacks here in the summer at 2 o'clock, I'll leave it on because I'm spoiled and I'll have enough for me. I know what I can do. I'll have enough drinking water that I'll come back with water still. I'll still come back with some, but I'll have enough water to leave it on the whole time and drink out of it. Now, if I'm going out for 6 hours or a full day or something, obviously I'm not going to leave it on the whole time. I'm going to turn it on as needed when I stop and I'm huffing and puffing, or if I'm just going up a real hard switchback and I'm getting the dry throat, I may spoil myself and turn it on for 10, 15 minutes at a time. But generally, the idea was to turn it on and use it as needed. But again, 2 hours or under for me, I just leave it on.
Wow.
Awesome. That's awesome. Also, though, we've been talking about, the personal cooling systems, but as far as, the golf carts, as far as the tents, and as I think you have the 3-in-1 misting fan that you could use for like outdoor parties and stuff.
Sure, I've got one right behind me. I'll show you. But one last thing on this. This
Okay,
is the
yeah.
pump system. This is the battery pack on the pump on the side
Mhm.
here. If I hit that button, you can see I've got a full charge. It's USB, micro USB charging. From dead to full, it takes about 3 hours off the wall, and it comes with the chargers and everything, of course. And if there's anything in it, it takes a lot less time. But this on the hiking speed lasts me anywhere up to 16 hours. We say 12 on the packaging, but I really get about 16 hours on speed 2 on my hiking speed. And it also has a power bank on this side in case for emergencies when you're out there, your phone dies, or worse, your music.
Wow. Yeah.
You can
That's
fast
true.
charge your gadgets off of this.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Ronnie
wow.
knows all about that. He's got to be, tuned in sometimes,
Oh man, I gotta have music all the
Yeah.
time. I can't
Oh,
run
yeah.
without it.
Yeah. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
that.
That's
So
awesome.
then, here is
Yeah, that's
this
the
is-
one I was talking about, the 3-in-1, right?
yeah, this is the 3-in-1. And reason it's 3-in-1, it's a regular fan, and it has a lithium battery pack on the back here. I don't want to blow all my papers all over the place, but you're on halfway.
Come on.
I put it at speed 6. I don't know if you can see that. So this is a lithium battery pack. So I pre-charged it. Again, you can charge it off the wall, and this will last me. There's 12 speeds on this. It'll last me on the lowest speed, speed 1, which I sometimes use at night in my tent. It'll last me up to 26 hours between charges. On the highest speed, speed 12, it'll last me about 5 hours.
Wow.
So it's a regular fan. And then I pull this out, and here's the same pump that you had, Ronnie, in your backpack. Same thing. It's attached to this platform. And all I do is hook the one hose is up to here, coming to the fan, and then I just take another hose, drop it into a pail of water, a bladder, a bucket, anything you have that's a water source that has semi-clean water in it, drop that in. A lot of people ask, can they put it in the lake? Drop the line over, but there's too much particulate matter unless you put a little filter, inline filter
that was Ron, that was my next question, because like Ronnie's out in salt water all the time and regular water, but if he has the filter, it's not gonna get
salt water won't work for it.
Yeah.
But,
okay. So that was my question.
Yeah, because these nozzles, these little the orifice
it'll rust them all out.
No, it won't rust them. We actually took our nozzles above and beyond the rest of the industry. See that white part? Normally it's metal. Normally they put metal on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see the little hole in there. It's no bigger than a hair on my arm.
Yeah.
So we put ceramic there instead, so it can't build up corrosion. But it still can get a piece of mineral hard water stuck in there.
Yeah.
And 60% of the time, if I do get minerals in the water and I do get a clog every once in a while, I just pull this out. 60% of the time, I just tap it on a rock or something, and it clears it when I'm out hiking. So usually you can clear it that way. Okay. And these nozzles, I mean, it's so overbuilt. I don't want to get too technical, but there's anti-drip mechanisms in here with springs and stuff. And then there's another micro mesh filter in the bottom part. That one's on a little tight, but there's a little micro mesh filter to keep floaties out. It won't stop the minerals though. So with misting, minerals are like little crystals, and that's what can jam these things up.
Right.
So would you recommend? No, I was going to say, would you recommend like a distilled water?
I've got golfers that are very, how should I put it? Very
particular?
discerning. and yeah, very particular. And a lot of these guys do use distilled water. I never have. I use Scottsdale's hard water right out of the hose,
Oh,
and
wow.
I deal with a clog from time to time, but those guys never clog, never.
That's
So
awesome.
they're
Now,
more particular than I am.
now Ronnie, what would you be able to use like that fan on your boat? You know, and
Oh,
like
I could see that. I mean, this is extremely practical. I could see that on my lanai. You know, you have company over, people are
mm-hmm.
swimming. You have that thing turned on because it's hot. It's just a part of why we're in Florida, and you turn that on with oh my goodness, the mister, and you're having a party with friends, and oh, that would be perfect. Oh my
Now you
goodness.
also use the remote control to control how much mist. Now this is where we're going to use more water. We have 3 nozzles, and I turn it up to speed 8 if I really want to crank it. Turn on speed 12, speed 8, and it's really throwing it out there. And of course, you have to take wind conditions in consideration.
Sure.
So I'll usually try to position this to where the wind's blowing into the back. So I just move it around throughout the day if need be to get the full effect of it. And if there's no wind, of course, it doesn't matter. But you don't want to put it into a headwind.
I think that would be epic for parties, Ronnie. You know, like and stuff like that.
That's what I'm seeing right away. Oh my goodness!
Yes.
Yeah, tailgating too.
You can also. Some of the equestrian people have found us now on this. This is a new product, by the way. It's our latest product out. So really, it's just this season we're doing it. But they're putting in horse stalls where they don't have if you don't have electricity and you don't have a water spigot available, we're the guys, because this thing pulls it up and they just hang it from a hook.
Oh, that's awesome.
And put it upside down, and then they have the remote control and they can control it, the mist from there. The other nice thing about that system, it comes with
the solar panel.
With a 16-foot line on it. So they can actually just set this out, put the fan in the shade, put this out in the sun, and this will keep the fan running at the same time. So they can save their lithium power pack. If they go on the highest speed, it will drain it a little bit, but if you're on speed 6 or 8, it'll charge and run it at the same time.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's a really nice feature. And one other thing that comes with it is that if you have that, Ronnie, that hose system that you held up earlier, can you hold that up quick?
Absolutely.
That's the next part. So right now we were misting misting fan. There's 2 of them. That's the third. We include that in the 16-foot line, and they can now take the pump off of the back here. It's just Velcroed on. And now they can, if they don't need it on the fan, they want it on another application, put it on their side-by-side or their UTV or whatever, or wherever they need it, or on the bimini top. They can just pull this right off of here and hook that system that you just held up, Ronnie. And that's 4 nozzles on a 16-foot line that's trimmable. They can use 1, 2, 3, or 4 nozzles. It's all quick disconnect fittings, so you can customize it how you want. And that's the third 3-in-1 on the fan. So they kind of get everything.
That's.
I can see campers really enjoying this as well. You know, you're an RVer, you know, fifth wheel, you know, you're sitting around a campfire or whatever, or you're even in the daytime, it's just hot, you know, and you just need a little bit of mist, you know, in your life.
Yeah, well, you know, like family gatherings, you know, all that stuff. You know, anytime, you know, you're just out there, you know, if you're, you know, like a lot of people like to lay out in the sun. And if you're laying out in the sun, get a little mist on you too, you know, so that you're not burning up. I don't recommend, you know, I'm not condoning laying out in the sun for skin cancer reasons, but you know, there's people that do it, but make sure you wear your sunscreen, but also you get a little mist. But I think
barbecues.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on the table. If you have a pergola back in the back section and you don't have the electricity nearby, just drag the fan out, or the mist system on the pergola itself.
Yeah. I love that aspect because you can just do a whole tent, you know. It's really cool. And I would suggest that you go to our website at BSPR LLC, go to Extreme Mist, and take a look at all that what we have to offer from them. And then also, I know Ronnie's going to be using that this summer. I guarantee you, when he's out there fishing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So the nice thing, Paul, about Ronnie's system is he's got the backpack, and if he wants to take the pump out of the backpack,
Yep.
the backpack comes with a little plug. So in the winter, if you're not using the system and just using hydration, if you don't need it, if it's here in North Dakota or something, and you just want to use a regular hydration pack, it comes with a little plug, and you simply, with the quick disconnect fitting, take the hose out for the pump system, pull the pump out of the backpack, plug that off, and you're just using regular hydration. But then he can take this pump and he can hook up that 16-foot line right out of his backpack and hook it up to his boat or wherever he wants to.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. That's a great point, Ron, because Ronnie's going to be, running, and, jogging or hiking, especially in the winters and stuff like that. Even Florida, it gets cold in Florida sometimes too. So
it does. It really does.
So that's a good point. I mean, and anybody all over the U.S. will can attest to that. That'd be a great selling point as well. Just you can use it as just a hydration pack, and you don't have to carry around a bottle of water.
That's another color. So we have the two colors: the gray that I'm wearing, or the sky blue with high vis yellow on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
nice.
It's a little choice.
Just out of curiosity, Ron, were you military or something yourself? Because it has a lot of military elements to it. Seems like to me, almost like
I was a firefighter and a paramedic and a jack of all trades. But my biggest thing has been most of my adult life doing the trekking across the world.
Wow, that's amazing.
How many countries have you been to, Ron?
I'd have to have a map, and I can't count it.
So I'm going to say over 20.
Oh, way more. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ronnie, how many have you been to?
I've been to a lot of countries, and a lot of those were through the military, so I didn't get the full
you didn't get the tourist, the tourist aspect of it. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I didn't even know they had it. I got to the other side. But I enjoyed all of it, because you can still see the beauty no matter what.
Oh yeah, and good people and people and just
incredible people all over the world.
Oh,
that's the best thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People are people. They're different from the governments.
Yeah.
I want it duly noted that Ron said that, not me. But it's no problem. So I think we got really there's so many tremendous ways you can use this product. It's amazing.
Paul, we're still learning from our own customers. I don't think all these different applications. It's the customers that come up with
there
it.
You go.
They tell me about it or send me pictures for our social media or whatever. And I keep learning new uses for it all the time.
Well, what's one of the most unique things you've seen that I could try?
Well, again, I just had, for the fan, by the way, I just had out of Chandler, Arizona, I think they bought 28 fans or something over the past month. And it's a animal rescue.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Okay. That's great, man.
I mean, yeah, really nice. I'll see if I can give a shout out to them. But it's an animal rescue, and mostly for pet pigs, I think, but they do everything. But I think the lady started it for all these pet pigs the potbelly pigs, and then people end up not keeping them. And so she does a rescue with that. Let me see if I can find that real quick. See if I still
all God's creatures need to be cool, man. So
yes, man.
We all do.
That is a beautiful thing.
So she or her rescue. Gosh darn it, I'm trying to find it. Give me one more second here.
Well, just to mention.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Sorry to interrupt.
It's called ACTS, ACTS, and it's Acts of Kindness Animal Rescue. And yeah, they have a lot of fun pictures on it of different animals and the pigs. And also they're using these fans. I haven't even talked to the lady yet. I've tried to reach out.
I'm sure she's going to see it now, buddy.
It's the crazy pig lady at yahoo.com. Crazy pig lady at yahoo.com. And they've got quite a big spread here, and they take donations and everything. So we're actually sending them a donation ourselves this week.
If she's listening, come on over. We'll help. We'll help with BSPR LLC and with Extreme Mist. And, essentially, what we're doing on these podcasts is to learn more about your products, how, like a professional like Ronnie would be able to use these things, and also, to gain attention. So, excuse me, I'm so sorry. The major retailers, start contacting BSPR LLC because, you're going to want to stock this product. So, just give us a shout and we'll start selling. And Ronnie's going to be using that stuff in the hot summers. Yeah. And also, just because, Ron, you mentioned charities, we actually do for veterans. If you go to our website, www.bsprllc.com, on the bottom portion of our website, there's a charity section, and we donate proceeds of our sales to veterans. It's FW22 is the organization, and we donate, to veterans and veteran organizations for, PTSD.
That's great. As long as we're talking about it, this is a new product we're branded through the U.S. Army, official product of the U.S. Army. It's the same quad kit that I showed earlier.
Yeah.
But it's in military colors. It's got U.S. Army branding on the pump cover.
Wow.
And different colored, a few different colors and things, and a bit of a different ammo box. And I think it's 7% of all of the proceeds on this goes to back to the Army, which they put it through for the families, Army families.
That's awesome, bro.
So this is something that we're just coming out with again. It's now available. And there it shows some of the applications.
Yeah.
There's the rooftop tent.
Cool down. His slogan: "Cool down, go farther, stay longer." There it is.
That's I'm
gonna steal that motto, Ron. That's gonna be my new mantra.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Yeah.
So Ron, when are you getting the one for the Marines, man? You already know that was coming, man.
I don't know that the Marines, they haven't offered us a license.
Don't even try, man, because if you say anything but Marines to Ronnie, you're gonna get an argument all day long. That's why I just say USA vet to Ronnie, because
Ronnie, we're all on the same side.
Yeah, we're all on the same side, but he's a Marine.
Taking jabs at each other, because we have that camaraderie together, man, and it's so much fun just having jabs and enjoying each other's missions, different styles, different missions. But we love doing it because we all admire what we do. Underneath,
we appreciate everything that all the U.S. military, Marines, Army, Air Force, all that,
and first responders.
And first responders, yes, we appreciate everything they're doing for us, and we appreciate your service and as well. But just don't mention anything other than Marines to Ronnie. Because,
you mentioned that. Another cooling product, the High Vis.
Oh yeah, that's for first responders. Yeah, first responders.
When it's on you, dump in a bottle of water, and same system, you're misting again.
Wow.
Yeah. I saw that, as far as the first responders, they would use that. Yeah.
That's when you said that reminded me of it.
Hey, that's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for, man. I'm in sales. So, no, but that's
We
he's got
do.
yeah, we got really good products with this Extreme Mist and with Ron, and I know Ronnie's gonna put it
I
out there
love it.
on his story out there, fishingstory.com, and he'll
Hmm.
share this interview. Ron's going to do the same, put it out there with Extreme Mist. We're doing the same, and like I said, let's get some people to start buying this stuff, because not that he's not doing great right now, but we could do a lot better because this is a really cool product. And all the major retailers, need to contact us at BSPRLLC.com. Contact me at paul@BSPRLLC.com, and let's start seeing signing some deals here. And excuse me, sorry. I told you, Ronnie, earlier, it's the change in
Allergies.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm telling you, man. I was on the phone with
I,
Ronnie
I,
this morning. It was
yeah.
terrible. It was like 80 degrees one day and then 30 the next.
We're at
Wow.
95 today, and everything's in bloom out here. It's beautiful. The desert's blooming, and everyone's
Wow.
walking around sniffling.
Hey, Ron, thanks for rubbing that in. I appreciate that. But
Oh, the 95.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like it's
Well,
38.
I can only rub it in for another few days, and once it hits over 100, you won't be jealous.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I'll just have to buy a vest, and
There you go.
then I'll be all right, man.
You guys come on out. I'll take you up on some mountains. Our offices, we're in Northeast Scottsdale, and we're right by all these hiking trails, all these mountain switchbacks.
We're staying at your house, right?
Come on out. You got we got 2 miles of dirt
I
to get
call
on tonight.
Ronnie. I call the big room.
Hey, I'll take whatever is available, man. I just need a place to lay my head,
There you go.
I've
How
got
far
the
are you
Verde
from Phoenix?
River. I've got the Verde River about 2 miles from my house. So you can try a little fishing there.
Yeah, that'd be a nice hike too. Hiking and fishing.
I bet you it's beautiful too.
Now you got Ronnie's going to be out there tomorrow, probably.
Yeah,
Come on
man.
down. Come on down.
Yeah,
Teach me a
man.
thing or two.
You don't say
I'm
hiking.
always out for learning.
You don't say hiking and fishing in one sentence, and Ronnie's not going to go. So
Hey,
be
I'm
careful.
in all the way.
Yeah.
So it's
He's
the
a class
adventure,
act
man.
guy. Yeah, class act guy. So anyways, so let's all make sure that we go to BSPRLLC.com, like, share, follow us, do the same for extrememist.com. And what's that?
Oh, that was last summer out at Furnace Creek in Death Valley. And right after I took the picture, went to 134, which tied the world's record. That's in the shade, by the way, even though the thermometer was recorded in the shade. And I was the only one who could actually go out there and hike in it because I had the Extreme Mist, and I just did it to prove a point. Don't suggest it to people, but
no.
Yeah, let's not do that.
My thermometer in the sun hit over 160 on my digital on my pack when I went to the salt flats out there.
That's just insanity.
I had to keep my hands in my pockets because my fingers were burning from the wind. But my face was good, my breathing and everything. So up here I was okay, but hands and stuff were burning. So that was just to prove a point.
Yeah, for kids at home, let's not.
Yeah, don't try this at home.
Yeah, try that. Don't try that at home, kids. But that's pretty awesome, though.
That is amazing.
I wouldn't do it, but
my buddy went with me, and the proper gear is important no matter what you do, and Ronnie can attest to that 100 times over. We went to the sand dunes in Death Valley in the morning. It was about 11 o'clock. It was only about 118 degrees at that point, and maybe 120. And we started up the sand dunes. I just went out a couple miles, and within the first quarter mile, both of his soles melted off of his boots.
Oh,
he had
wow.
to turn around and go back.
That's insane.
Again, equipment. It's so important.
Man, that is so important.
Everything I own, my socks are not socks. It's a piece of equipment.
Yep.
My bandana is a piece of equipment. Man, everything that I have is equipment.
Now you sound like you're in the military.
Man.
It's
Yeah.
the same
It's
thing
true
when
though.
Yeah,
you're
it is.
gearing up to go on a adventure, whether it's an epic adventure or just going up into your hills or getting out in the wilderness a little bit, you gotta think of these things. And again, perfect example. He didn't have good boots and they melted right off of him. So you
That's
got to have the right
That's
equipment.
insane.
And Ronnie
because
can
we used to
attest to
do that out
that.
in 29 Palms, California. How
Oh
far is
yeah,
that? Yeah, that was a
by
heat
needles.
box. Oh man, not far from Joshua Tree
Yep.
and Palm Spring. It was brutal. And then it would freeze at night, like 30, 40
Yeah,
degrees at
yeah,
night.
yeah. I think
Two extremes.
the warmest place I've ever been was Thailand in Bangkok, and it was like
Mm.
145, like
Woo.
and that was and all humidity,
And
man.
lots of humidity.
It was just it was. I had to take like 7 showers a day. It
You
was
know,
just
speaking of
terrible.
humidity, just for any of your viewers that are on right now,
Mhm.
it's counterintuitive for mist systems with humidity. So a lot of people are saying, "Oh, if Ronnie's in Florida, it can't work." But because we're doing close up and personal and doing that heat
Yeah.
exchange, a
Mhm.
regular mist system would not be popular in Florida, up above, way above in the restaurants and stuff coming down because that cools the air and drops it. But
Mhm.
Yep.
because of the humidity, it's so saturated, it doesn't work that great. But with our systems, even with the humidity, because you're getting hit with these, it's like taking a drop of water and a giant sledgehammer coming down and breaking that into thousands and thousands of
Yep.
particles of mist. And that ice cold mist is hitting you, even if you're already sweated out from the humidity, and it's still doing the cooling on your carotid area and up into your mouth and your nose, and it still cools you even in the high humidity. So
Right.
even in Thailand, it does work.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, exactly. I do have a few questions that popped up. Um, let's see. Ronnie Green, how do you think extremists would help with fishing?
Well, I can tell you, I can attest to it because I actually use it when I had my grandkids with me last week, and they wanted to go out, and they wanted to go out in the heat, the hottest part of the day, 2 to 3 o'clock, and I was like, "Really, y'all sure you want to go?" Well, we went out. We had a lot of drinks in the thing, but they didn't want to stop. They wanted to stay up at the front of the boat and fish. So when they saw Grandpa with the mister on, then they saw it as like, wow, it was refreshing. And
Mhm.
ultimately, they started using it. And then when we went to go play tennis later on, he's trying to use it playing tennis. Imagine that. Yes. So and then the funny story about this is that when it was time for them to leave to go back home, they were like, "I want my Mister, Mommy." They thought it belonged
I'm
to
telling,
them.
I'm telling you,
Get
these
hooked
things are
on it
awesome.
and get
Yeah,
Yeah,
hooked.
these things, these
and
things
so
are awesome.
yes, to answer that question, I use it in fishing a lot, and because it does work. And then again, one of the most critical components is with that T top on a saltwater boat,
Right.
putting those misters. We talked about it, the quad kit. And you can put those on there, and then of course it has the clamps and the things to get them on. I think that's really where it's going to be critical, especially when we start getting into snapper season and grouper season. Grouper season starts at June 1st, and so does snapper. And people are out there in some of the hottest times of the year. And even though you have some hydration, you really need to cool that body temperature down. And that mister
Right.
would be perfect for me there. So a long answer,
Awesome.
but hopefully I answered that question.
Yeah. Thanks. It was Craig from Wisconsin. And I've got one for Ron. And he asked, "Do you have any future, sorry, I'm not going to answer that one. He wants to know what, you have in the making. So that's pray.
I will say this: we do have 4 new products for next season coming out.
Yeah, exactly. I just can't say which ones, and I don't want to bring that up. So, but great question, but we won't address that at this time until, just keep keep watching us and keep watching BSPR LLC, Extreme Miss. Keep watching A Fishing Story. I'm sure Ronnie will have all 4 next year when it comes out. So just, stay tuned. So Ronnie, we'll start with Ron. Let's kind of wind this down. It's been a little bit, so just tell us a little bit, like anything that you want to add to the conversation.
Well, I could talk all day about my products because I get so excited about it, for sure. And having someone like Ronnie using it and getting it right away. I mean, he got it instantly.
Yeah,
It's awesome. But there's a couple other things that.
Hey, I'm kind of hurt you didn't say, like, and Paul too. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
but Paul, I don't think that you've been out using it yet.
well, I mean, you still got to, give me some cred here, street cred.
You got the street cred. This is a
okay.
two bottle, just a regular fanny pack. I mean, not everybody knows about these type of things, but with our system, the thing that's different with it is this goes on, hooks on here, and you can carry 2 bottles of water and extra storage. So again, if I'm going out for long distances, not my little 2-hour one, I'll carry extra water with me. But the big thing is when I put that on to my pack, the difference in ours, and this is separate patent pending, it zips on and off of the pack. And when I put that on, little pro tip, by the way, this is how you put it on a pack.
Oh, oh, nice.
When I clip this on and tighten it up a little bit, all the weight comes off of here. And it transfers to here, about 80% of the weight. So not only am I carrying more, but that little addition right there just made this whole thing full of water, which water is 4.4 pounds in 2 liters. The whole pack's just north of 6 pounds, so it's not heavy. But still, if I'm going out and I take that weight totally off my shoulders, it's awesome. And the other thing is
that in your back, Ron.
What's that? Yeah,
I said that in your back,
And then you can also put full-size iPhones and things up front. We made it as a vest style in the front, so you can put a lot of things up here. I'm not going to get into all the features of the backpack, but I'll be honest, I pretty much stole all the big boys features. I have probably 16 packs of my own, and I'm always buying and using different packs, again, equipment for different types of adventures that I'm on. And I took all the packs that I've loved, took all their best features. I'm not gonna lie, I plagiarized all the best features of everybody's stuff and added a few more features of our own, and then put the Mister into it. So we don't have a big brand name yet because we're only a few years into this, and we count years by summers. So it's seasonal for us. So I count a year and a half. Really, it's been over 3 years. But
wow.
I think
that's why we're gonna get. That's why we're working to get you into the big dogs here.
Yeah, I think our packs are.
We're gonna after this. Yeah, we're gonna work to get you in with the big dogs. All the best pro, all that stuff. So we'll work on that, and they're gonna see this and realize how cool it is, and yeah. Ronnie knows, and I probably talk to Ronnie 15 times a day. Just out of he's like, oh man, it's Paul again. So, but no, we're working. We're gonna get you into the big dogs, and
I know you guys.
Everybody's gonna see this.
BSPR is gonna rock it for us. I know that.
Oh, absolutely. I know exactly. And Ronnie, before we go, why don't you talk? Can you talk about your upcoming show?
Yeah. So what we're doing is this summer we're going syndication. As you know, we're already on the Outdoor Channel and the World Fishing Network, but we'll be going to your local channels syndication this summer, starting with a 6-week special, 1-hour special that we'll have for 6 weeks, and then it branches off into our typical 30-minute for 52 weeks. So we're excited about it, and have a lot of great things coming, and lot of things brewing, and it can only get better because there's always an adventure and a story behind all of these great people that we have on the show.
Exactly. And we're working with all of our manufacturers to and anybody else that's watching this, for advertisement possibilities on the show, contact Ronnie and his team. And if
Paul, you might want to bring up ICAST.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie's going to be there. You're going to be there as well. We have some sales reps from BSPR that is going to be there. I would encourage you to go and see Ron at Extreme Mist. What's your booth number, Ron, again?
While you're talking about Ronnie visiting my booth, I'll look it up
Of course.
real quick. I have that.
Exactly. Well,
I'm talking about everybody going to visit your booth, not just Ronnie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ronnie's a busy guy, man.
No, but I'll be there, Ron. You can pretty much pencil me in. I'll be there, man. Love your product. I really do. I appreciate you sending it to me. And I just wonder, I think about stuff. I'm like, man, why hasn't somebody come out with this incredible idea already? This is just long overdue.
Yeah,
I mean, especially growing up in Texas in the dry heat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they were just waiting for Ron. That was it.
There you go. You did it right.
Yeah,
I have the iCast up, and it shows Extreme Mist personal cooling systems, but it doesn't tell the booth on right where I'm at right here. So, but if they just go to the iCast,
yeah, you can go on the exhibitor list or anything, and just all you have to do. And then I'm sure before the show we'll post that Ron, his booth number and all that stuff on our website that you guys can check it out as well.
You can do autographs over there, Ronnie?
Man, I'll do whatever, man. I'm always honored when someone asks me for an autograph.
I want one of my bags. I want my bag autograph.
Hey, we're in, man, all day. Again, I just love the bag and I love the technology, man. This is good stuff. Trust me, around my household, it will get a lot of use. I'm just trying to figure out how do I keep it away from my wife. I guarantee she's gonna be, because she doesn't like extreme heat, so she'll be all over it.
Make sure you get like
one thing when you're out hiking, when you're out hiking with this thing, you can make a lot of friends. People want to walk behind you to get the residual.
Yeah, that's right.
You make a lot of new friends.
People watch me, like when they see the mist when I'm walking, they're kind of looking out of curiosity, like, where is that coming from? What's going on? And then, some will ask, like, what is this? Where can I get it from? Just neighbors that are friends of mine, so that's a good thing.
I have to be honest, I've been accused of vaping before, which I don't vape, but they say I'm coming off a mountain and they go, are you vaping on the mountain? And I'm like,
exactly. Your lungs can take that.
Yeah.
No, it's just water.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But
good
awesome.
water.
Hey, I think we had a great conversation. It's a pleasure to introduce Ron to Ronnie. I know they've met before, but nobody else has met them all together. We've had a great conversation, very candid. It's not all about business. It's about stories and sharing things. And, like Ronnie and I always say, keep it 100. I mean, that's, we're 100%, so, make sure you check us out, BSPR LLC.com. Check out Extreme Mist. You can find them on our website, .com. But you can go directly from our site to see all their stuff. Check out Ronnie's fishingstory.com. He's got, I don't even know how much stuff he's got coming up, but do you know when that's going to be out yet, Ronnie?
In July, the second week in July is when it starts, the 1 hour special. And it'll last for 6 weeks. So
make sure.
But in the meantime, you can watch the show on Outdoor Channel every Monday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time.
And then if not, set your DVR. So
that's live at 12:30, or your first run at 12:30, and then can you watch it after that anytime?
Yes, you can, and it depends on the distributor. I I use an app that I love. It's just me personally because I like to keep it on the road with me. Friendly app. I love it. And of course, DirecTVs and some of the others and distributors that are out there. Spectrum here in Florida. You name it.
So if I just
So
Google you up, I can find any of your recent.
there you go. You can find some stuff.
If you, just go, don't Google Ronnie Green because you're gonna like the list is gonna be like 10,000 pages long, man. Like he's on YouTube, he's got his own channel, he's everywhere, man. The guy is, I'm telling you, he's huge. He's in my opinion, the GOAT, man. He's a
Oh
great
my
guy.
goodness, man.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, man, he's just a really great guy, really family man. Loves his grandkids, loves his kids. I mean, he's doing everything, man. Oh yeah, and same with Ron. Ron is a very upfront guy, great personality, and awesome products. And we're proud to to be representing him, and we can't wait to sell. So anybody listening that's a buyer, start calling us. But other than that, so we'll see everybody at the ICAST show. And and we'll post Ron will post when you find out what booth you're in, we'll post that on our stuff, and make sure that you visit, and then Ronnie will maybe go sign a couple of autographs or something like that when he has time. I know he's wicked busy, but
we'll also be at the Outdoor Retailer Show up in Colorado on June 9th. I don't know, Ronnie, if you ever have gone to those, but if you want to, let me know and I'll give you a badge.
Nice. When is that again?
That is June
August
9th through the 11th.
Oh, I think I'll be in California then, but that'll be awesome.
Yeah. Well, if not, we'll be there to help you out too if you want. So
yeah. Well, Paul, I thought you were going to that with me anyway. So
well, I didn't get the invite just till now. I was already at the ICAST show, but
I want you to do our show too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll do it all, man. We're gonna help you grow, and like I said, any major retailer watching, contact us. We'll get these things rolling because they're amazing product. A lot of applications for any industry almost. So, gentlemen, I thank you so much for your time, and I know Ronnie, you're wicked busy. And
thanks, you guys. Happy trails to you and all your listeners or watchers.
Absolutely.
Happy trails with an extreme, happy trails with an extremist backpack on. So, but you guys have a blessed day, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And
all right,
we'll see you. We'll see you soon, both of you.
Take care, gentlemen.
All right, take care. Thanks.